Welcome to Small Biz Life, episode 73, Affiliate Marketing Basics.
Does this sound familiar?
Oh my God, I have so much to do today.
Don't forget to breathe.
But I have almost 400 emails in my inbox and 30 phone calls to make.
Have you looked into getting a virtual assistant yet?
Oh, and I need to schedule all my social media posts.
Did you drink anything today?
I had coffee.
Did you eat today?
Did I mention coffee's a bean?
This is Small Biz Life.
Hey guys, welcome to Small Biz Life. We're so happy that you are with us for this episode. My name's Kristen Ingram.
And I'm Jeffrey W. Ingram.
And we are a husband and wife team of small business owners who are walking with you through this journey that we call the Small Biz Life.
Yes.
Because we know that this is not a 9 to 5. This is a 24/7 experience that you are living.
Yeah. The thing is, if you're a small business owner, between small business and, the rest of your life, that's your entire day. And it gets very mushy and intermingled at times. And so we just kind of look for ways to help make your experience easier with small business so you're less likely to fail and you're more likely to have more time for your family, which is ultimately the reason why at least both of us are motivated to do this, is because we love time with family, with friends. And if you're working all the time because your business is struggling and you're stuck on all these little day-to-day details, it holds you back from the bigger picture and a better life.
Right. So whether you are a new listener or you are returning for your 73rd episode, thank you so much for being with us this week. And don't forget to make sure that you are subscribed to the show. That way you'll never miss an episode.
Yes.
And it comes right to your phone. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's a very simple automation you can do to make your life simpler, because then you don't have to worry about going back and remember to download the episode and then you're out and you want to listen and you can't. It's bad for everyone.
Yes, and this episode is brought to you by Small Biz HQ, which is our monthly membership site for small business owners to help you run your business more efficiently and, to get kind of pull back out of the weeds, right?
Yeah.
And be able to look at the bigger picture of things. And if you want to learn more about Small Biz HQ, you can go to smallbizlife.com/HQ.
Wow, that's a clever URL.
I know. Well, we try to make things easy, because we know that people are listening. So I try to make it as easy as possible. So, I think there may be, some of our regular audience might look at the title of this episode and say, okay, I'm not a strict online business. I'm not a blogger. I'm not a YouTuber. So this episode is not for me. However, I think that most businesses can benefit from affiliate marketing.
In one of two ways. They can be they can do what they're doing and share affiliate information with people instead of just links to people, which is nothing wrong with that either. But it's a way to help build relationships with other companies. But on the other hand, too, maybe you're thinking about setting up affiliate marketing. And so what are some of the things that people are already doing out there that seem to be working, which you might want to think about when you do it?
Right, exactly. So, we've actually been in the affiliate marketing arena since 2005.
Yeah.
Right? Because even when we were running your first business, which was a computer support and technology business, we still had affiliate relationships with companies because our customers wanted, products or services. And it was a way that we could, connect them with those companies while making a little bit of money off the transactions.
Yeah. Because ultimately, I did not like managing the inventory for other people's stuff. And it made more sense for me and the way I spent my time in my business, not to worry about inventory of products that are other people's. But I love the relationships where I could set up and say, okay, give me either a certain piece now or a certain piece reoccurring. And if I like your product, I will push it.
Right, exactly. So, we think that this is an opportunity for a lot of businesses to grow another revenue stream. Or if you are, a YouTuber, a blogger, you have a website that you're driving traffic to, this is a way for you to generate an income stream.
And if you're a classic brick and mortar institution, that's wonderful. There will always be a need for those at certain levels. However, with growing competition, you should really be trying to move to, I think the new term they're kind of using is mortar and click business.
Yes.
How can you expand and scale your business beyond just your local community? Maybe most of your efforts and sales and stuff like that, are done locally on the 101, but how can you take your business and scale it up a little bit, reach a much larger audience for whatever your product or service is, and potentially increase your revenue even out of a storefront.
Right. And, you have opportunities like, say, for example, if you do have a storefront and there is a high-end equipment in your industry and you do not want to manage that high-end equipment. So I'm kind of thinking, for example, if you are a knitting store and you have people that want spinning wheels, but spinning wheels are expensive inventory to hold on to because you might not necessarily move a ton of them.
Yeah.
But, it's something that you want to be able to offer to people. You could have an affiliate relationship with one of the major spinning wheel manufacturers. And yes, people do buy spinning wheels. I have friends who have spinning wheels. And they spin their own yarn.
I would be more shocked to think people don't have spinning wheels. I've seen so many in my life.
I know. We have a lot of friends who have spinning wheels. So you could have an affiliate relationship with one of those manufacturers. You don't have to hold the inventory. You send your customers to their website and you get a piece of every sale.
Or vice versa too. If you offer a certain specialization, which is either no longer common in your industry or is not done by a lot of your competition, build relationships with them on that and say, hey, I do soy machine repairs, so I'm going to go out to my competitors, even if they're farther community away, and I'll let them pick up the machine. I'll go out to their store once a month, bring them in, or whatever the time frame needs to be. I don't know what the turnaround is on that, but bring the machines to your shop, repair them, and take them back to the other shops. So build relationships like that with other brick and mortar types of institutions, but using the internet to scale it out.
Right. And if you think about it, there have always been, affiliate agreements.
Of course.
So, a financial advisor would work with an accountant and give a referral fee for that. Realtors do that all the time. They give referral fees. And that's essentially what this is, right? It's a referral fee.
Yeah.
And so this kind of marketing has existed forever. It's just online makes this a lot easier. So I think probably the most common affiliate that people are aware of is Amazon.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what really kind of made it mainstream knowledge about affiliates, especially all of the Amazon law battles that happened, was that 5 years ago maybe?
Yeah, it started about 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it started for I think New York's was passed in 2007 or 2008.
Wow.
So it's actually been about 10 years now. So, Amazon's is probably the easiest to use. It really is. They set it up to make it super easy.
They make it so easy for you to help sell their products for them.
And I think some people, they're kind of weary of this because they don't want to put ads on their website. But you can do this without putting ads on your site.
Yeah.
So, a lot of times affiliates will just put links. So if you've got, if you write a blog post and you mention a product, you put a link from Amazon. Now, Jeff kind of mentioned the laws and the lawsuits. Depending on what state you're in, you may have a more difficult time.
Yes.
Either setting up an affiliate program or working with affiliate programs.
Yeah. And also you have to be cognizant of these rules too, especially if you're setting them up, where if you accept certain affiliates from certain states, it might increase the cost of your affiliate program and make it unprofitable.
Right. So, I was looking through Amazon and it was very hard to find a list of states that are unable to participate. The list that I found was from 2006. This list says that Arkansas, Colorado, Missouri, Maine, Rhode Island, and Vermont. If you're from one of those 6 states, you cannot become an Amazon affiliate. I know Connecticut has issues. We live in Connecticut, and we've been turned down automatically because we live in Connecticut.
Well, actually, we lost our Amazon affiliate several years ago when they first passed the law. But later on, when Amazon built a facility in our state, the issue became moot because they had what they call Nexus in Connecticut, and then they started reinstating people in Connecticut to affiliate.
Right. So, in the tax world, there are 2 types of nexus. There's physical nexus, which means you have physical presence in a state, and now there is affiliate nexus, which means that if you have affiliates in the state considers you having presence in that state, which means that you need to collect sales tax in that state. So that's kind of what makes this really complicated, is because of this change in the Nexus rules. A lot of companies are actually pulling back out of certain states because they don't want to collect sales tax in that state.
Yeah, one of my favorite products that I mention all the time, especially on my other show, but sometimes here too, Great Courses, was one Kristen was talking about where we were auto-denied. No. As soon as I clicked the button to submit my application to become an affiliate, I got to know before I got the verification email to prove my email address. And I don't blame them, and I will still pitch them out there because I believe in their service, and hopefully I'll either move someday to a place where I can do it or something will work out where I can become an affiliate because they have a great service. But now I lose out because I'm less incentivized to share out their name, even though I'm a little crazy and I'll do it anyway. But on the other end, they lose out in those states as well too, because they're going to probably get less sales in those states than the states they have affiliates in. So it kind of hurts two players in this game, and maybe it doesn't really help the state because they're not getting the sales tax revenue anyway.
Right. So, I think that I'm hoping that at some point Congress does some work on this to make everything uniform, because I know, but that's really the solution we have at this point, unless it goes to the Supreme Court.
It truly is an interstate commerce question, which is the privy of the federal government.
Yes, it's part of the Commerce Clause, and right now it's preventing commerce from happening across state lines. So we'll see. So, so who can participate in these kind of programs? So if you have a website, if you have a blog, and it has to be a self-hosted blog.
Yeah.
It's hard to get these if you're using WordPress.com.
I mean, I think even the terms of service of a lot of the free platforms like WordPress and Blogspot, and someone please let me know if I'm wrong. I believe they don't allow you to do affiliate marketing on them. Yeah.
Some companies will actually let you do it if you just have social media and email. One thing with Amazon, their current terms of service say that you cannot put affiliate links in email.
They consider those offline.
That's something they need to change too. And you also have to be careful because some email list companies will not allow you to put affiliate links in your emails. So I think MailChimp has finally changed this policy. But make sure that you understand the terms of service for your email list provider as well.
And also understand too, if you set up blog posts to where they automatically email out to your general newsletter list that usually it grabs a certain portion of the post. Make sure you do that. Like say the first paragraph or whatever, and that's what gets fed in before you get that little more thing to go click into the website. But make sure there aren't affiliate links ever in those areas if they're to like someone like Amazon who says that is a violation of their terms of service.
Right. So, when this is a basics episode, right?
Yeah.
So, we don't want to get too deep into it, but we want you to understand the things that you've got to look out for. I know a lot of people sign up for things and they never read the terms of service.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to look at the terms of service just to give you a general idea of what you can and cannot do because you don't want to violate that terms of service. Okay. So, you website, social, sometimes email. Make sure you understand what you can and cannot do.
Yeah.
So some programs, Amazon's is very easy to sign up for if you can do it. It doesn't really ask about your traffic sources. It doesn't really ask about the size of your website or how much traffic your website gets. Some programs, there are a couple big networks that you can sign up for. So there's LinkShare. I think the biggest one is probably Commission Junction, which is CJ. And I'll put the links to all these in the show notes. Yeah. What else is out there? ShareAlink is one. There's a bunch of networks that are out there. And what the networks do is they manage the affiliate programs for other companies.
Yeah.
And so rather than having to sign up with 35 different companies through 35, different websites, you can log into that website if they're hosting the affiliate program and just sign up with them.
Yeah.
And then you have to apply to each individual company that you want to work with. But usually that's really quick because you already have a profile with Commission Junction or one of the other
which
ones.
does save you time.
Right.
But obviously, when you do third-party affiliate programs like that, and a lot of times smaller companies are forced to use them because it's expensive to manage large affiliate groups, and you typically want them if you're trying to market that way. But obviously, that company is going to get, and it does deserve some of the proceeds of what's going on because they're sort of making it all happen between players.
But even, QuickBooks uses one of the big ones. I think they use CJ. FreshBooks uses CJ. Carbonite uses CJ.
Well, Carbonite is not really a big company.
Well, but Intuit is.
Intuit is. There are some big companies up there.
Dell
too, don't get me wrong.
and Best Buy.
It depends on how much effort they want to put into the program, how important of a strategy it is for them. If it's not a priority and they don't want to spend the money, they go into these third-party networks.
Right.
But that's the big thing is you got to research the companies that you want to be affiliates, that you want to have an affiliate relationship for.
Right. So, when you're trying to decide, so to some affiliate programs that you apply to, they are going to ask about your numbers. It's really funny because I'm a QuickBooks Pro advisor and I cannot get into QuickBooks affiliate program. I don't know the type of numbers that they're looking for. They don't tell you what they're looking for, but whatever it is, we don't make the cut. Yeah. With the kind of traffic that we get from Accounting in Focus, if that's where we're going to put the ads, that no problem. I can absolutely get into the program. Some of them, they want to know across all your websites, how much traffic do you get? And so that kind of helps. Another thing that you want to look up when you're signing up for these programs is their payment terms.
Yeah.
If you're in one of the big networks like CJ or ShareAlink, they will look at all of the affiliate programs that you're in together. And, sometimes they have a minimum payment, like Amazon's minimum payment, you have to make $10 a month. And if you don't make $10, it will roll over. And some of them are really high. Some of them are like $100 before you get paid.
Yeah. And you kind of have to look at the, the likelihood of achieving it. Are you trying to build it up over time? I know even just from just AdSense, which is not affiliate marketing, but traditional marketing on your website, it's $100, and it took a really long time to get the first check.
Yeah, I think our first.
I think it was almost a year before we got our first.
Oh
check.
no, the first
Maybe
check
a couple of years
took, I think, 4.5. That was before we had AIF though.
Yeah.
So once we started Accounting in Focus, the checks started coming in pretty quickly after that. So when you're trying to decide which companies to work with, we are very specific about the companies that we work with. Typically what we actually do is we will try a product, and if we really like, we've bought the product, right? We spent the money on it. And then if we really like it, we'll say, hey, I wonder if they have an affiliate program. We think that this might be a good fit for our audience on Accounting in Focus or the audience in Gardool or Small Biz Life. And then we'll go out and see if they have one.
Yeah. I don't think we have any affiliate programs that we belong to that we have not used as a product for a portion of the time.
No.
And if we had a negative reaction or left because of problems, even with an affiliate, we would stop using them as an affiliate source.
Yeah, like I said, we get approached all the time because when you're members of these networks, companies are going to approach you, especially if they start looking at your traffic. We get approached all the time. And if I don't use your product or I don't think your product is interesting enough that I'll go buy it to check it out, I'm not going to join it.
Yeah.
So, you have to remember that you're building trust with your audience and your customers. And if you refer them to products that you don't believe in, that you don't trust, you are going to break your trust with your audience and your customers.
And I always try and give full disclosure. And there are rules in the U.S., I think, from the Federal Trade Commission, which state you have to state on a page when you use affiliate marketing.
You have to have it in your terms and conditions on your website.
Or you need a stamp on that page that says affiliate marketing. But when I put together show notes for YouTube, even, on the good show notes, they always have like those little things at the bottom with the actual links because you can't embed them in the description there. So what I'll do is anything that's affiliate, I'll actually say this is an affiliate link. I just completely upfront with people about it because I believe I should. And I take it further than what the law demands, but you have to find a balance that works for you.
Right. So if you're interested in getting involved in affiliate marketing and you're trying to decide, does a company have an affiliate program? So some companies, they'll open up their affiliate program to anybody.
Yeah.
Some companies will only allow you to become an affiliate if you're a customer of theirs.
Actually, I respect that.
Right. And we're actually in a number of affiliate programs because we are customers. So I know that's how Nosby's works. You have to be a customer of theirs. I'm trying to think. I know that there are other ones that we're in. A lot of like email lists, you have to be a customer of theirs. So,
and some are even more picky, where one of the things we haven't talked about here is if you're in the area of being sort of an online expert, you're in that space where people are branding themselves. A lot of those people also have affiliate programs. They're typically highly profitable, but typically the more well-developed they become, the more exclusive they become with the types of affiliates they get. Because it's tough to manage and they want people who are returning results for them. But a lot of times, like if you've bought a class and you think it's a good class that your audience could benefit from, if they have an affiliate, by all means, check it out just to make sure. Don't think it has to be a typical what you think of as a company, which is, your, Origin PC or your Pro Fantasy Software or, those kind of important businesses. You're smiling.
I was thinking you were saying like Amazon or Best Buy or Staples or.
I think of things that are important to me, honey.
Yes. And if you're, so typically what we do is we will Google, right? Uncle Google is your friend, the name of the company and affiliate program.
Yeah.
And typically that will bring you right to their affiliate site if one exists. and it will tell you how to apply. It will tell you what network they're in.
And it would be more useful if you run these sites to put, if you're going to deny me automatically because I live in a state with harsh taxes, just to let me know before I fill out the applications, please.
That would be helpful. And then you apply, and it usually takes, somewhere between, some companies, they're automatic acceptances, especially if they're in one of the big networks.
If you meet metric, you're in.
Yeah. Some of them, take up to a week, before you'll hear back. So this is kind of something that if you want to get involved with it, don't wait until you write the blog post. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this from experience because I've done this before where, I'm writing the post and I'm like, I wonder if they have an affiliate program. I really like this. And then, we'll let you know in, 72 hours. And the blog post is going live in 20 minutes.
That's right.
So, which you can do that and you can always go back if you get approved and, update the link. But, this is something that you kind of want to think out. And we do this, when Jeff started working on World Builders Anvil, we kind of went through and said, okay, what are some things that we think you might end up talking about on the show or you think would be useful for your listeners? And we kind of went out and looked, and that's how we, Campaign Cartographer is one of your affiliates. And
Pro Fantasy Software.
I'm sorry, Pro Fantasy Software. You can tell how much I'm paying attention to the actual companies, and I'm more looking at the brands that they're selling.
Huh.
At least for your site.
Oh, you don't care is what you're saying.
I'm not even gonna. No, we're not even gonna go there.
Do I look fat over here? I don't know.
Oh, don't even. Oh my goodness. Oh God. Yeah. So, and a lot of people, they think that, this has to be, this must be really complicated. It's not.
No.
When you do affiliate marketing, the companies that you're working with, they really want you to be successful because when you're successful, they're successful.
Yeah.
And so they will provide you with, sample ads, sample links, if they're running promotions, they'll give you links for that. It's really easy to do. And like Amazon's, when you're in Amazon's and you're logged into your account, at the top of Amazon, there's actually a bar.
It's very simple.
Do you want to insert a text link, an image link, or a text and image link into whatever you're doing? I love that they added that because it makes it so easy to put in text links.
And that's also where you're here too with like podcasts, and it's becoming popular to have go to smallbizlife.com/Amazon or go to garduel.com/Amazon and support the show while you do your normal Amazon shopping, which is really cool because, with Amazon's affiliate, they don't care what the people buy. So, if they link through for, I think, about 24 hours, unless they go through someone else's affiliate link after yours, anything they buy from Amazon, you will get a percentage of based off how many sales you have that month. And, if you're not truly, if your business model isn't to be an affiliate seller, you're just looking for bonus revenue streams. You don't, if your model isn't to create one of those super SEO sites that drives a bunch of traffic, you're not going to make huge amounts of money with affiliate marketing, not in this sense. But it can add in revenue that just helps your company over the edge a little bit and here or there.
Right. And the way that I kind of think about it for a lot of companies is, if you're going to be talking about a book, why not make a little bit of money back from that? And
especially for your indie authors, get a freaking Amazon affiliate and share out an Amazon affiliate link of your book when you share it out.
Yes, I know, especially if you're selling your own book.
Because you get a royalty plus the Amazon affiliate fees. It's a win-win.
Right. And so there's a couple different ways that companies will pay you. So even Amazon has a couple different ways. So there are either percent of sale, or there are what are called bounties. So percent of sale means that when somebody goes through your link and buys from the website, you get a percentage of the sale. Typically for some of the larger programs, they're running anywhere between, 4 and 15%. The typical affiliate relationship, if you are working with somebody who provides online services, is anywhere between 20 and 50% of the sale. So that's like people that are selling like online courses and stuff like that, where there's not a physical product.
Which, well, like if you're a fan of like one of the big name online personalities like a Michael Hyatt, and all of a sudden you start getting bombarded with emails from Michael Hyatt, and then by all of these other guys who know Michael Hyatt are starting to share out links to his stuff too, it's because they have an affiliate relationship with them. And I think it's one of those things too where you have to end up being careful because you don't want to saturate the market. But then again, prove it wrong, like look at the data. Does it hurt you? When it hurts you as a business, then stop doing it.
Right. And that's one thing that you have to be careful about. If you set up one of these programs, you have to look at how much overlap there is between your affiliates. I actually know a lot of people who unsubscribed from Michael Hyatt and a lot of his related, folks, because his last campaign was it was crazy, the number of emails that were going out.
Yeah.
And because the problem is that a lot of these people had built part of their business because of Michael Hyatt's audience. And so there was a lot of overlap on all of these email lists. So there were people that were getting 20 emails a day.
Best email ever.
Oh, that's a lot of email. So you've got to be really careful about that if you're setting up a program.
But, they're really incentivized because he gives them probably 50% affiliate bonus, and it's probably $1,000 course. So that's real money.
Right. And that's the thing. It's like, something like, Amazon is typically 4 to 10%, depending on the category. But the more you sell through Amazon, your base percentage goes up during the month. So, the typical range for Amazon is 4 to 7%. And it's on anything people buy while your link is active, like Jeff said. So, you can link somebody to a book. And I've actually had this happen before, that I've linked somebody to, a book I was reading, and then they turned around and bought all their textbooks for the semester off my link. So that was pretty awesome. The other way that you can get paid is for bounties. And what a bounty is getting somebody to behave in a particular way. So Amazon has a bunch of these that if people sign up for a free trial of Prime, you get like $3.
Yep.
If people, sign up for a free trial of Audible, you get a certain amount of money. Even if they don't buy it, right, you still get this bounty for sending them over.
Yep.
A lot of software companies will do this, that if you can get somebody to sign up for the free trial, you get, a couple bucks. And then if they buy later, you might get more money. Some affiliate programs work off of reoccurring revenue. So if somebody buys a subscription, those are nice. Yeah. If somebody buys a subscription, you get paid a portion of their monthly fee as long as they're, a subscriber. And some you just get some money up front, if they signed up. So, make sure that you kind of understand how the payment system works. Before you kind of jump in and spend a ton of time trying to get all this stuff on your site.
And understand too, it's like if it's a higher end product, like Origin PC, where they have very expensive computers there, they might have a high threshold you have to pass, but it's probably because they're trying to discourage you from sending people to them to buy keyboards. But in theory, if you sell one of their PCs, you're probably going to hit that threshold. So see how much of the product you have to sell to pass the threshold, and don't put in more effort than you can return.
Right. I mean, that's why, Amazon is so popular, because low threshold, most people already shop there. It's just trying to get people to use your link when they shop there versus somebody else's.
But the thing I think you have to keep centered when you do this, like I said, unless you're trying to build a high traffic website that makes its money from affiliates only, your audience comes first. If you have a recommendation, if you can't get an affiliate, ask yourself, is there an alternative? If there's not, give them the recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to squeeze a dime out of everything that you do. Everything doesn't need to be monetized because these are all supplementary forms of income unless that is all you're doing.
Right.
And if you don't put your audience first, they will figure it out.
Right.
And they will hold it against you and it will diminish you. And over time, you might get a little bonus right now, but over time, it's going to hurt you going forward.
Mm-hmm.
It's the no thank you economy.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing. It really is about building trust. Don't send people to products you don't believe in. Don't send products to people, don't send people to products you've never tried before.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to say, hey, I use this, I'm going to see if they have an affiliate program, but just to be able to say, hey, who do I have an affiliate for? Or who could I get an affiliate for? Mm-hmm. And I'll refer people to that.
It's like we have an affiliate with HostGator, which I will share out because I never had an issue with the company. But there are other hosting companies, and even though they're technically owned by the same company, I would not touch an affiliate program with. And I see a lot of people offering them out there because they have very good affiliates for hosting. But no, I'm sorry. I can't do that company.
Well, and the thing is, too, most people now, when they ask for hosting, I tell them about HostM.
And they don't give us
and they don't give us anything.
Yeah, which would always be my first suggestion because they are a better company overall. They have newer equipment. They have faster servers. But, I like to give people options too.
Right. And so that's the thing, the way that we look at this is I always look at it that I'm going to make this recommendation whether or not I have an affiliate for
mm-hmm.
it. Can I get an affiliate for it? Okay, cool. Yeah, I can. Mm-hmm. Or no, I can't. Well, I'm still going to make the recommendation anyways.
Yes.
But this is a really good way, for you to start monetizing your brand,
mm-hmm.
Because we know that, when you have an online business or even if you have a brick and mortar business, and you're developing things, or maybe you're an author and you're writing a book and you're starting your promotion for your book, or you're a creative and you're starting to develop, your website and the things that you're going to sell online. This is a really good way for you to kind of start building up a little bit of money, maybe just to pay for your website.
Yeah.
Right. So that you're not having to pay for that out of pocket.
And really one of our strategies early on was between AdSense and affiliates. We wanted to pay for our toys.
Mm-hmm.
And then after a while, we're like, wait, we could do this as a business.
Yeah.
And okay, so the metrics changed at that point. But the fact is, even if you're doing this for a hobby, look for a way to mitigate or eliminate the cost. And you should be able to do that.
Right. And this is a great way for you to generate some supplemental income, without hurting your brand. Mm-hmm. All the time on this show, we talk about products we use, we talk about services we use. And when we do that, if I have an affiliate relationship, I put the link on the website.
I think Kristen's most favorite affiliate to share out over the past year has been the Instapot from Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is, that will be used here Super Bowl Sunday, which is the day we are actually recording this episode.
We're making red beans and rice
We're making red beans and rice in the Instapot. It will probably take about 45 minutes from dry beans to yummy goodness. Mm-hmm. But the simple fact is, the reason she loves doing it is, one, she's seen people who bought it who are as excited about it as she is, and that makes her feel good, And
I typically share it when it's like a deal of the day and I know it's a really good deal.
Yeah, you don't share it out just because you like it. You're like, oh, this is what I love, and it's a deal for people. Let me share it out then. Yeah, we lose a little bit on the what we take in because it's a little bit cheaper that day, but it's not the point is to help supplement, to help alleviate some of the expenses of the business. Unless, like I said, your business model is, I need 1 million people a day and I'm going to only push affiliates.
Right. And I'll tell you, I've probably sold enough Instapots to pay for my Instapot. So mine was free. And thank you guys for buying your Instapots through my link.
Yes,
I appreciate
and for anyone who is listening who bought the Instapot through Kristen's link, thank you very much.
But
and if you get stuck, ask her about it. She loves talking about Instapots.
But that's the thing. But it's, it's not a main source of revenue for us, but, every little bit helps. So, if we can pay for, certain aspects of our business, if we can take some of that money and say, hey, I can go to another conference because of what we made from affiliate marketing last year.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, this is something that, we'd love to have you take a look at no matter what type of business you have, because there are probably affiliates that you could work with that would complement your existing business really well.
Yeah.
So, if you have any questions about this, you can ask in the Facebook group.
Or Instapots.
Or if you have questions about Instapots. The Facebook group is probably the best way to hit us up. Go to smallbizlife.com/ No. Well, actually, I think you can get there from smallbizlife.com. But the easiest way to get there is facebook.com/groups/smallbizlife. You can check out the links for all the things we talked about in the show notes for episode 73. And while you're there, check out Small Biz HQ. We'd love to have you join us.
Yes.
So thanks so much. Have a great week. Go Pats!
We just lost our audience.
I know.
This was Small Biz Life.